This program is a paid commercial presentation of Information Incorporated. Welcome to the new edition of Psychic Friends Network with host Dionne Warwick.
Most importantly, we give you, the viewer, a chance to call a professional psychic for a personal and confidential consultation.
We'll meet America's favorite psychic, Linda Georgian. Hear country music star Lynn Anderson's psychic reading.
Not sure if I want to put my romance stuff on television.
You'll meet some of your favorite soap stars who've called the Psychic Friends Network and hear predictions from America's leading psychics and clairvoyants.
I love what I do because what I do is I help to give people hope, show them that there is a choice, show them that they can create positivity in their life.
And now, 5-time Grammy Award winner and your host, Miss Dionne Warwick.
Thank you so very much. You know, it's really great to be hosting this brand new edition of Psychic Friends Network. We have a lot of surprises planned for you today. And to get started, here's a lady that we'd like to all welcome who will make it all happen today as we planned it. Please welcome a wonderful friend and a fabulous psychic, Miss Linda Georgian. You do too.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Now, you know, I happen to know about this psychic network and how it works. But there are a lot of people sitting here this afternoon, as well as those who are looking at us on TV, who don't have a clue. Why don't you kind of bring them up to date on what's happening?
Okay, Dionne, we've assembled an amazing group of psychics and made them available 24 hours a day through the Psychic Friends Network. Let's have a member of our audience give the Psychic Network a call.
All right. It sounds like fun.
It will be.
Okay, do we have a volunteer? The lady right there. All right.
She looks perfect. She's got a very great aura. This should be a good reading.
Okay, we'll see. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Tingle.
What's your real name?
Adrian.
Adrian. Okay, that's what we're trying to get to.
Psychic.
I have nicknames too that we won't discuss anyway. Have you ever had a reading? Never?
Never.
Okay.
We have a psychic that works for the Psychic Friends Network, and she's going to be joining us right now in a minute here.
Psychic Friends Network, extension 7411. This is Lacey.
Hi, Lacey. This is Linda Georgian.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm
Great.
here in Hollywood, and we have a volunteer from the audience who would like a psychic reading, and I thought you would be able to give her one.
That would be great. I'd be glad to.
Okay, here she is.
Hello.
Hi there. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. And you?
Just fine. Tell me your name and your birth date, and I'll tune into your energy.
My name? Tingle.
Tingle. Okay, and what's your birth date, Tingle?
I had to give my birthday.
Not the year, just the date.
Yeah, just the month and the day.
Okay. March 5th.
Girl after my own heart.
That's right, that's right.
Well, you know what I see around you right now, I sense a lot of emotion, and I see a lot of pink around you, and usually that's the romance area or the love area. Did you have some questions about that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Don't we all?
Well, ask me and I'll try to answer you.
There's this particular man in my life that I really am in love with. I feel he's in love with me, but there's a situation, and I'm wondering if he's the man that I'm going to marry or what. And if he's not, I just want him taken out my life.
I totally understand your question. Well, I'll tell you what. I think that he's a very good person for you, and I see a lot of confusion around him. If you can be a little bit patient, I think he can develop into that very special man for you. But he's not quite ready to make the commitment. I see you needing to be a little patient, but I see a lot of feelings between the two of you and a very, very positive relationship once he's really ready. Can you wait for him?
I'm trying.
You know what, Lacey, this sounds like it's going to get really deep and personal, so why don't we let her sit down for a minute. She'll call you back and continue your reading. How about that?
Oh, that's
because it's feeling like it's going to get a little heavy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay? All right. You know, we've received hundreds of letters from callers telling us what has happened as a result of calling the Psychic Friends Network. As a matter of fact, a young man named Gary Foster, an auto body paint specialist from Fort Worth, Texas, may well owe his life to the psychic.
Gary came to work expecting a normal day in the paint booth. He spent all morning preparing a car to be painted. A seemingly routine morning for Gary, but this was not to be a routine day. Lunchtime came around, and Gary was suddenly struck with the urge to call a psychic friend, and he was lucky he did. Linda Thompson was happy to hear from Gary, one of her regular clients. Gary's psychic friend, who had been helping him for years, was again there for him with another amazing psychic prediction. Linda immediately began to sense danger around Gary. She saw a terrible fire breaking out in the paint booth and Gary smothering in smoke. She couldn't tell what would cause the fire, but she was sure it would happen very soon. Linda pleaded with Gary to take the rest of the day off, but this was one time he did not follow the advice of his psychic friend. After lunch, Gary returned to the booth. He continued working, but then began to feel lightheaded and decided to take a break. Just as Linda predicted, something terrible was about to happen. As Gary sat swallowing his aspirin, the highly combustible paint booth became consumed in flames. Knowing his boss was waiting, Gary returned to work. Fire was everywhere. All Gary could think about was saving his co-workers from their impending doom. The garage was completely destroyed. Gary's brush with death has further convinced him of the power of his psychic friend.
I mean, that was truly something. It really was. I'd like to introduce you to the psychic that foretold this horrible event, Miss Linda Thompson.
Yeah. Yes. Linda, that was great. It's a very special gift. Indeed.
Well, I'm always happy when I can help someone and keep a tragedy like this from happening.
Absolutely. Well, God bless you, and we thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, and thank you.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now, when we get back, we're going to meet some soap opera stars who have called the Psychic Friends Network, and I'm also going to introduce you to one of my favorite country music stars who has become a big fan of the network. But first, we'd like to give all of you at home a chance to be first-time callers to the Psychic Friends Network.
When we return, Dionne's friends call the Psychic Friends Network.
Thanks to some of the best psychics in the world, the Psychic Friends Network is the most popular service of its kind. By simply calling the number on your screen, you can select to speak with the psychic friends of your choice, or we can help you select the psychic friend who best suits your needs 24 hours a day. All calls to the Psychic Friends Network are personal and confidential, and all psychics work from their homes and offices. Remember, all it takes is a telephone and an open mind.
Must be 18 to call. Just $3.99 per minute.
Somehow talking to the psychic just kind of, I don't know, it boosted my enthusiasm, my confidence in myself. And I landed a job like a few days later.
It's my wife on the show, my TV wife, and she had come over and I was on the phone and I was listening very intensely, and most of my answers were because he was saying things that he could have no knowledge of. And I was looking at her with these eyes, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I wrote psychic on the piece of paper. And she had known that I was going to do this, and she was like, and I said, this guy knows what he's talking about. He was really friendly, really nice, had wonderful things to say, and it hit on so many points he drove them home so specifically. I felt like I wanted to talk to him again.
Welcome back to the Psychic Friends Network with your host, Dionne Warwick.
All right. For those of you who didn't see the first show, Linda met with a number of very famous soap opera stars who shared their experiences as callers to the Psychic Friends Network.
That's right, Dan. As you know, we have a couple of updates. As you remember, on our last show, Elaine Princey got a reading from Linda Salvin, a network psychic.
You've got about 3 more months of this healing phase that you seem to be in right now, and then you get to leave all this hardship behind you, where it's kind of like a satchel on your back just kind of drops, and you feel freer inside. Does any of this relate to what you're going through right now?
Well, yes. Yes. I'm a little bit amazed.
Last week, I visited with Elaine, who shared a very intimate moment with me.
I was very, very stressed out and very, very emotional. And in the middle of all of this, I got a call from Linda Salvin. You may remember Linda Salvin is the woman who did my reading on the last show. And I said, "Linda, I haven't spoken to you since we did the show." And she said, "I know. But I was just sitting here in the living room and I suddenly felt that you were having an awful lot of problems. I cannot tell you why this happens. I cannot explain psychic phenomenon to you. I don't completely understand it. All I know is that this woman felt my pain and seemed to be there for me. She was very helpful.
Dionne, you remember Ricky and Yasmin?
Oh, sure.
I'm with this man right now, and we're planning to move in together, like move into a brand new place together, a place that I just bought, and I think we're both a little nervous about it, and I kind of know what your feelings, I kind of want to know what your feelings are on the subject, and she goes, good, only good feelings, it's gonna happen.
Well, Dionne, we have the latest on the couple who knows how to use the Psychic Friends Network to make their relationship work.
The last time that we talked with you, we were just getting together, really. We had just met. You know, we were just starting to date and everything. And when I spoke to my psychic, she was saying that you guys, I see longevity for you. I see you guys being together. And here we are. It's a year later.
Things are going great.
It's not like calling a family member and getting to someone.
You know, all family members, they want to marry you off right away, and so they're always like, oh, go for it, go for it, go for it. But you want someone who really has an unbiased
That
opinion.
also puts it in sort of perspective, you know, saying not to rush things, not to listen to other people. It gives you peace of mind to talk to somebody like, you know, that tells you, to reassure you not to feel that pressure, and we like it like that, don't we?
Absolutely.
You know, Linda, we were absolutely swamped with offers from big daytime soap stars who also wanted to share their experiences as callers to the network.
It's amazing, Dionne, how many people wanted to be on this show. Recently, I met with Kate Linder, who plays Esther Valentine on The Young and the Restless. She told her psychic friend a secret that she doesn't want anyone else to know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
I said, okay, well, my birthday's November 2nd. And he said, okay, and I need to know the year. And I went, hey, I don't tell the year to anybody, because in this business, you know, I can't tell my age. And he laughed, and he said, oh, okay. I said, but, you know, I want to have a really good reading, so do you really need to know this? And he said, yeah, I really do. And he said, don't worry, I'm not going to tell anybody. And for some strange reason, I mean, my agents don't even know my age, okay? But for some strange reason, I felt I really trusted him. My husband isn't really into it, but when I told him that such and such was going to happen in April, and this is what we should do, and then it got to be, well, what else did he say? Did he say anything about me? You know, he got into it. I was telling everybody. I was calling everyone up and saying, listen, this is terrific. This is going to happen, and this is going to happen. And they're going, right, Kate. I said, no, I just know it.
In addition to getting calls from soap opera stars, I also received many calls from people in the music industry who have, over the years, like Dionne, become my personal clients. So please, help me welcome a singer who you will all remember. Her hit song, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, is one of my all-time favorites, Miss Lynn Anderson.
All right. You're looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Why don't you share with not only our audience here, but those who are looking in, your experience with the network?
Well, I called in and got to talk to Linda, and I was one of these people who was kind of skeptical. You know, I'm usually pretty careful about things, so I thought, well, I wasn't sure if this was going to work or not, but I really enjoyed seeing what happened, and if it was a possibility, I thought, great. So Linda and I became
instant friends.
Yeah, I felt like I had known her for a long, long time. And if nothing else had come from that conversation, that was great. That friendship, that feeling of being able to talk to somebody who understood and would listen and give me a real good opinion. But she was able to tune in on some things that really were kind of close to me. I guess a couple things about business, a couple things about personal. You were right on.
Thank you.
Is everybody as good as you on this network?
There are psychics on the network that have blown me away with their their psychic abilities. Would you like to have a reading?
I would love to talk. I have the number that I called you on,
right.
so I will definitely call another.
No, I mean right now, here, today, in the studio.
No, not in front of everybody.
Audience, would you have a reading?
One more time. Well, I guess as they say in cowboy land, Linda roped another one in.
Okay, joining me on the phone shortly will be Chris. She is one of the psychics that work for the Psychic Friends Network. And she is going to do a reading for you.
Okay.
Hi, you've reached the network. This is Chris at extension 6960. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Chris. This is Linda Georgian. I'm here in Hollywood at the studio. And we have a guest of ours here who would like to have a reading.
Great.
Would you give her one, please?
Sure, I'm ready.
Okay, here she is. Have some psychic fun, Lynn.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
My name's Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Good, thank you. And you're Chris?
That's correct.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a reading, and now I can give you a general reading, or I can give you a reading where we look at things like love, romance, career, finance, travel, things along that line.
I'm not sure if I want to put my romance stuff on television. Let's just stay pretty general.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to focus in. This will take about 2 seconds. All right, I do see you're just coming out of a time where your energy's been a little low and a little scattered. I also see, too, that you're becoming much more directed. I also see a couple of gentlemen, one with the initial E and one with the initial R, who are going to be very, very instrumental. Later on, I would say within a few months, they're going to be very helpful.
I am meeting while I'm in Los Angeles with, there are two fellas that I have set meetings with to meet with here. One of them's name is Elliot, and the other one's name is Ralph, and I have dinner with him tonight after the show.
It's going to go great for you. Be very open, be extremely flexible. The energy is going to flow in a very positive direction. I also see, too, that there will be some negotiations.
Yeah, it's a business thing.
Great. Looks like you're going to be doing some very large project involved with a lot of people, and it seems like it's going to be in a different state. Could very well be Tennessee.
I'm working on a television project. That's the first one I've really kind of put together.
It's going to put you in contact with a lot of new people, a lot of new talent.
Yeah, because I'm handling the business end of this more so than I'm being a performer. I've got a lot of other artists and country music stars working with me. We're working for children, for handicapped kids. Beautiful. But I'm doing something different this time. I'm not just standing there and singing. So I was really a little wondering whether or not I could make this work. You see it going
This will
well?
work. This will work beyond your wildest dreams. You're going to get a lot of people that are going to be very positive about this, extremely supportive. A lot of people actually volunteering their services and coming to you.
They have already started to do that. Yeah.
This is going to be beautiful. You're going to help a lot of people with this project.
Good. I hope so.
This will be very, very good for you.
That sounds great.
I do see some other personal things here. Would you like me to continue with these more personal things? It's entirely up to you.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead with this television, people, because what you've said is just. I don't think there's any way you could have known about it because it's not been announced to the public. And but definitely, let Dionne. She wants to talk about some personal stuff. Can we do that kind of on our own?
Absolutely.
What she said was so close to exactly what's happening in my life.
Okay, we'll give you some privacy then,
Okay, thanks.
All right, while Lynn and Chris are speaking privately, we'll give all of you at home a chance to start your own personal psychic friendship over the phone.
Stay tuned for the psychic love connection that happened in the produce section.
I think you want to you can't believe it. It's like I called someone right away, and my friend was like, calm down, wait, I gotta tell you what I just heard. I mean, it was just, you get so fired up about it because someone's just telling you some certain things you didn't think it was possible for anyone to know, and it just like fires you up. You can't believe it. I think that's just it. You're shocked.
Thanks to some of the best psychics in the world, the Psychic Friends Network is the most popular service of its kind. By simply calling the number on your screen, you can select to speak with the psychic friends of your choice. Or we can help you select the psychic friend who best suits your needs 24 hours a day. All calls to the Psychic Friends Network are personal and confidential, and all psychics work from their homes and offices. Remember, all it takes is a telephone and an open mind.
Must be 18 to call, just $3.99 per minute.
One of the first things that the psychic said to me was that I had just gotten a job that was going to be a really big deal. And the day before I spoke to her, I had just gotten this really great job. So the first thing she did was nail something that had happened that was really important.
Welcome back to the Psychic Friends Network with your host, Dionne Warwick.
You know, Linda, you and I have known each other for a long time, girlfriend.
Please don't say.
A long time.
A long time.
Without revealing any confidences or names or anything else, but you have kind of alluded to the fact that some steamy, sexy stuff comes up in these readings.
Dionne, this is a family show.
Yes, I know that. But you know, we have to. We have no choice. We've got to let people know how you've brought love and happiness into the life of Todd Weston.
Todd Weston is one of Linda Georgian's regular clients, and today he only wanted to know about his love life. As usual, Linda was there to help him through this moment of crisis. Linda saw that Todd would soon meet someone very special in the produce section of his local supermarket on a Saturday afternoon. Linda saw the girl as having long brown hair and that somehow stars and moons would be involved. Todd hung up the phone excited. That Saturday, Todd went to the supermarket, but to his disappointment, he saw no women fitting Linda's description. But the following Saturday would be an entirely different story. One of Todd's friends was giving a pool party, and Todd was really enjoying himself. Linda's amazing prediction could not have been any further from his mind. It was his turn to make the drinks. There wasn't much orange juice left, and so Todd was elected to go to the market and buy some fresh oranges to juice. He wasn't happy about leaving the party, but someone needed to get the juice. Todd was anxious to get the oranges and return to the party, but Linda Georgian's prediction was about to come true. There, perusing the fresh squeezed orange juice, was Todd's dream girl. Todd moved in and tried to strike up a conversation. Not knowing what to say, he told Christy of Linda Georgian's prediction. After all, it was Saturday afternoon. They were in the produce section. But the real clincher was the stars and the moons. Christy was wearing stars and moons earrings. Christy wasn't sure whether to believe him, but decided his story was too crazy not to be true. Todd brought more than orange juice back to the party, and the rest is Psychic Friends history.
Ladies and gentlemen, Todd and Christy. Yeah. Hello. How are you? That was really hot. I love the little tape. Why don't you elaborate?
Okay. I've been seeing Linda for about 3 years now and getting readings from her. And most of the time, she's extremely accurate. But this time in particular, she was right on the money.
Yeah?
She had the time, the place, the day, the person, and probably even more coincidentally, was that she said, I see stars and moons. So here I am in the produce section of a supermarket, and she said produce, in the orange juice section, picking out orange juice, and Christy comes along and sees this vision of beauty. And I happen to notice the stars and moon in the earrings.
Are you kidding? Oh, let's see them. Look at that. Stars and moons. And, all right.
And that's how he approached me. He said, you're not going to believe this, but my psychic had said I'm going to meet someone in the produce department, and she saw stars and moons, so I can only assume it's your earrings. And I'm thinking, okay, that's the best line I've heard so far. I mean, that's as original as I've heard. So I went ahead and I went to the party he invited me to because he was so original. And here we are.
All right. And how are things going?
Quite well. It's been about 8 months now. And, well, I don't see wedding plans yet, but if it is, we'll try the pizza section.
Well, all I can say is good luck to you both, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right. This has got to be the love segment of our show, Linda. It just has to be, because I want you to take a look at who's visiting us today. I'm sure all of you will remember him from our last show.
This 5-year period is when you're going to find the love of your life. You're going to settle down. This is going to be the domestic scene, okay? Right. But it will be far more successful than you've had so far.
Okay.
So far you've missed the mark, but you've been practicing hard. You're now going to stand on your own 2 feet and will probably end up running your own business.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garrow and Cheryl. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Good to see you again. Hello. Well, look what's happened. Why don't you get on with it?
Okay. Well, last show, Aunt Tate happened to mention that I'd be meeting the love of my life soon, and I asked her to elaborate on it afterwards, and she said it'd be very soon. And it wasn't but a week that I met up with Cheryl. Actually, we had our first date after that. And after a month, I figured out she was my soulmate. And another month passed by, we fell deeper in love, and then after the 3rd month, we were married.
I love it. Isn't that fabulous? And now, married and a little package in the oven here, see? Yes. That's wonderful. She also elaborated on other things for you, some business and other...
Right. She also mentioned that I'd be starting my own business, which was a surprise to me at the time when she mentioned it. But Cheryl and I have started our own business. And she also mentioned that I'd have more money in the bank than after the year from what I started with. And with the way the economy's going, that's kind of a surprise as well. But we do, which is good because, like I said, we got a little one on the way.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, now that this has happened, have you tried the psychic network? I mean, have you called yourself?
I sure have it. 4 out of 4 said it's a boy.
A boy, they predicted a boy. Well, we'll certainly wait and see. How much longer do we have to wait?
2 more months.
2 more months. Well, we'll get back to you, folks. We'll let you know. Cheryl and Garrett, thank you.
We'll return with more audience psychic readings.
Oh, I love it. I think it's fabulous.
In a few short minutes, I went from being really down, having a bad day, to like really getting this uplifting feeling, having a great outlook on life, and just thinking that the whole future is brighter now. My whole outlook is like changed just in those few short moments that I talked to this guy. It was like fabulous.
Hi, this is Linda Georgian with a quick reminder about how simple it is to get your own personal psychic reading on the Psychic Friends Network. By calling the number on your screen, you'll be connected to the home or office of a professional psychic who cares about your future. All calls to the Psychic Friends Network are personal and confidential. So whether you have a question about love, romance, success, or money, call the Psychic Friends Network today. All it takes is a telephone and an open mind.
Must be 18 to call. Just $3.99 per minute.
And they told me to sit at home and just collect this money. And I did. And that gave me the money to buy a car. It gave me the money to start my own business. And by January 1st, I was in business for myself. Since the last show, I've continued to consult with my psychic. He's been kind of like a business advisor for me. In April, there was one product in particular that I wanted to drop completely. He said, no, just hang on for just a little bit longer. And I did. And within that next month, May, it picked up. And within the last 3 months, my business has increased 900%. By the first of the year, I'm going to retire.
Welcome back, and here's Dionne.
Well, Linda, once again, it's been a pleasure. And thank you for allowing me to host the Psychic Friends Network.
Dionne, thank you for helping me. Remember, all it takes is a telephone and an open mind.
And that's so true. So we're going to come into the audience, we're going to hand out some phones, and you can find out for yourselves. How about that?
Right.
All right?
This program has been a paid commercial presentation of Information Incorporated.
It's a fresh, new Video Soul with Sherry Carter and Donnie Simpson. And it's definitely turning heads. We've got the angle. We've got the look. We've got Donnie and Sherry together on Video Soul. Do something wild.